All right. So in the previous lesson, we discussed about tokens solving a coordination problem. Now, why is this coordination problem important? And which takes us to the why of why the token essentially exists. This is one of the most important things in tokenomics. You need to have an answer to why your token exists. Why do you need a token in the first place? Um, and this is where a lot of projects I have seen fail, that they do not answer the why we need the token. This is the key most important thing on why does the token even exist in your ecosystem. What would happen if your token would not exist in the ecosystem? What coordination problem are you having in your ecosystem that you need a token? What coordination problem is the token really solving? And is the token really solving that coordination problem that you need to coordinate those millions of people around your product? So the why and the what um, are very key important factors on the reason that exists. Once you have the answer to this why you need a token, what coordination problem are you solving with this token? And this naturally leads you to then the what incentives are created by this why. So, what incentives are going to be solved, or what incentives are going to be provided to participants when you know why your token exists? What are the coordination problems that your token is going to solve? So, this why and the what of this coordination problem will basically guide you exactly to what behavior you want your users to do. What are the things that they should be doing right in the product, and what are the things that they should not be doing in your product when they're using your product? And that takes me back to that same Uber and Airbnb example that I talked about a little while back, that those web 2.0 environments, they have a way to control user behavior. You've got to follow a certain process, which is that user journey, to come to a conclusion. The way they control the user behavior is very controlled. But in a decentralized economy, in a decentralized ecosystem, the purpose of that decentralized ecosystem it exists is because there is no one central control authority that is controlling your behavior. And the only way then to control your behavior, incentives and disincentives, is to have this token governing body that drives what the rules of the ecosystem are, how do you play the rules of the game, and what are the disincentives in that ecosystem. So, taking me down back into this, why you need a token in the first place. So, this is super important to answer. If you're just creating a token just because everybody else is creating a token and you just launch it, trust me, it is going to be a massive failure, and your project worth is going to actually come down if that token does not have a purpose, if that token does not have a utility, if that token does not solve a coordination problem. Let's take, for example, BTC. So I'm going to ask you to pause this video for 1 minute and think in your mind, what is the core reason that BTC exists? Why BTC? Why is Bitcoin there as Bitcoin? What is the need for BTC? So let's pause this video for 1 minute and then play it back again. Write down your answers on a piece of paper or think them in your mind, and then come back and tell me in the comment section, why do you think we need BTC? All right, so hopefully you paused the video for a few seconds and you had thought about some answers. Now, what I did not tell you to think of is, and what I was expecting you to do, is that you would be thinking of BTC as a user. You'd be thinking outside the network. So, as a user, what is the value of BTC? So, in my other lectures, when I talk to students and other conferences, one of the reasons, a lot of reasons came, and one of the reasons what people, which is a common thing, with people responded back saying, we need BTC because it is a store of value. We need BTC because we can buy and sell stuff. that accepts Bitcoin. We're not talking about the pizza here. Or we need BTC because BTC, again, like I said, store of value. So if I buy and hold BTC, it will give me a profit. So you're actually thinking like a user. You're actually thinking like an end user. What I want you to do is to think like, why does BTC exist within the Bitcoin network? Now, one of the obvious reasons that BTC exists within the Bitcoin network is that it incentivizes the miners. So the reason why miners are mining, the reason why there is this constant hash power, hashing, and computational resources, electricity being burned, miners mining, and miners getting an incentive, which is in the form of BTC, is the reason that Bitcoin exists and is the reason why the whole network coordinates itself. Now imagine if the miner was not getting BTC, or if the miner was adding compute resources, compute power, electricity, and doing the whole hashing process, and he was not getting any incentive out of it. Why would he mine? So without BTC, miners will not mine. Without BTC, there is no competition for hashing power. Without BTC, that network will not exist. So other than BTC being on the outside a decentralized currency within the network, because miners are mining, because hashing is happening, because there is compute power, because there is this constant security around the network, and for people to behave in a certain way, for people to be truthful, is because the incentive BTC that they want to earn. Let's compare this to, for instance, Uni. So if I were to ask you about the Uniswap token, what do you think would be the incentive, or what do you think would be the de-incentive within the Uniswap network? Now, this is obviously a different type of a token than BTC. And one of the primary reasons that Uni exists is mainly governance. So in a decentralized autonomous organization, or in an organization where the power is distributed amongst its participants, you basically need a governance token to vote, to take decisions, to approve proposals. However, the value Uni would provide to its participants in the long term is a topic to be debated, but Uni is basically, at the moment, a governance token. So we talked about BTC and how BTC incentivizes and creates that market structure. And then we talked briefly about BTC being another different type of token, which is a governance token. Let's take another one. Let's take another one, for instance, which is another popular one, which is ETH. So tell me, what is the purpose of ETH? So if you think of the purpose of ETH, one of the primary purposes of ETH is paying the miners for the computational resources, or in terms of gas, what they call, to incentivize the miners to do the computational resources to execute your transaction. So ETH is an incentive to pay validators to do your computation. So coming back to the why, we discussed a lot of different reasons that why we need a token, right? And the token could be solving a governance problem. The token could be an incentive to do a particular task. The token could be a utility. The token could also be, you buy the token and you hold it, and then you do something with that token, or you gain some other incentive by getting that token. So you mint more of that token. So there are different reasons why a token should exist. Now, from a token engineering perspective, there are some very specific reasons why you need a token. Let's cover those reasons more in the next lesson.